43 years ago, a mystery unfolded on the cold streets of London, one that would entangle the Vatican, the Mafia, secret societies, and a shocking political scandal. This is the story of Roberto Calvi, the man who became known as God's banker, and whose death remains one of the most enigmatic crimes in modern history. Let's take you back to June 1982. Roberto Calvi was no ordinary banker. As the chairman of Banco Ambrosiano, Italy's largest private bank at the time, his connections reached the highest echelons of the Vatican. Calvi earned his nickname thanks to his bank's close relationship with the Catholic Church and the powerful Vatican Bank, officially known as the Institute for Religious Works. But beneath the surface, Calvi's realm wasn't just about faith and finance. He was immersed in a world where money, religion, politics, and organized crime all intersected. On the morning of June 18, 1982, Calvi's body was discovered hanging beneath London's Blackfriars Bridge. He had been missing for 9 days. The circumstances were strange and baffling. His pockets stuffed with bricks and thousands of pounds in cash, in several currencies. Even more suspicious was his fake passport under the name Gian Roberto Calvini, and a ticket to Rio de Janeiro tucked away, along with a visa for Brazil. Initially, authorities declared his death a suicide. The first coroner's report claimed there was no evidence of foul play, but from the start, doubts were everywhere. How could a man who went through such elaborate steps to escape Italy, disguising himself, shaving his mustache, taking a private plane, and securing a Chelsea flat, end up taking his own life in such a dramatic fashion? Roberto Calvi's death was only the tip of the iceberg. Just one day before his body was found, his personal secretary, Teresa Carroccio, leapt to her death from the 4th floor of Banco Ambrosiano's Milan headquarters. In a note, she condemned Calvi, blaming him for the devastation caused to their bank and its employees. Banco Ambrosiano wasn't just a financial institution. It was a key player at the intersection of power and secrecy. Founded in 1896, the bank had a long association with the Vatican, whose own financial empire was shrouded in secrecy. The Vatican Bank was its primary shareholder, managing the church's vast global investments, free from Italian regulation and oversight. And in this system, the Vatican could move colossal sums of money across borders without scrutiny. Secrecy was, and is, paramount. Calvi kept close company in this shadowy world, forging an alliance with the chairman of the Vatican Bank, Archbishop Paul Marcinkus, an American with deep and controversial financial connections. Among Marcinkus's associates was Michele Sindona, known in the banking world as the Shark, an international financier with Mafia ties, who was later convicted of fraud and met a grisly end after being poisoned in his Italian jail cell. Both Sindona and Calvi belonged to an infamous Masonic lodge, Propaganda Due, better known as P2. Led by Licio Gelli, a wealthy Italian businessman and staunch fascist, P2 was not your conventional Masonic order. It attracted politicians, military leaders, business tycoons, and influential journalists. Many saw P2 not just as a brotherhood, but as a shadow network tightly linked to the Mafia and covert political operations. Everything changed in March 1981, when police raided Gelli's offices, uncovering a list of hundreds of powerful P2 members. The revelations rocked Italy. A sitting prime minister resigned, high-level officials faced ruin, a police chief killed himself, and in the chaos, police discovered evidence of huge financial crimes and offshore schemes, with Calvi at the center. The fallout was swift. In 1981, Calvi was arrested for currency violations, sentenced to 4 years, but released on bail while he appealed. Sensing disaster, he fled Italy carrying documents that could expose corruption at the highest levels. Within days, Banco Ambrosiano collapsed, and with it, investigators found that $1.5 billion had vanished. Much of this lost fortune was traced to the Vatican Bank, which escaped prosecution due to the Vatican's sovereignty. Some of the missing money ended up funding secret church operations or funneled through shell companies in Luxembourg and South America, later returning to Italy to serve Calvi's own financial ambitions. While the Vatican denied legal responsibility, it conceded a moral one, and paid $406 million to Banco Ambrosiano's creditors. But the real secrets and the billions lost were never fully revealed. Investigations showed these ghost companies didn't just serve the church or bank insiders. They were also laundering money for the Mafia and bankrolling secret political ventures overseas. In this tangled web, powerful figures across Italy had everything to lose if Calvi started naming names. Some believed the circumstances of Calvi's death itself carried a message, a reference to the P2 Masonic Lodge. The bridge where his body was found, Blackfriars Bridge, matched the nickname for P2's members, Blackfriars, who wore black robes at meetings. Was the location itself a provocation, a warning, or a symbol of Masonic retribution? Calvi's family refused to accept suicide as the cause. Years of campaigning led authorities to reopen the case. Their persistence paid off. In 1998, new forensic examinations confirmed his injuries were inconsistent with suicide and showed he couldn't have placed those bricks in his own pockets. By 2002, Italian judges officially ruled it a murder. Finally, in 2005, 5 people went to trial in Rome accused of murdering Calvi. Prosecutors claimed the Mafia had lost millions, meant to be laundered through Calvi's network, and that Calvi had decided to use his secrets to blackmail his way out. Among the accused were financiers, mafiosi, and even Calvi's former bodyguard. Yet, after a 20-month trial, all were acquitted. To this day, the true architects of Calvi's murder have never been unmasked. Roberto Calvi's death left a web of intrigue and loose threads spanning the Catholic Church, international banking, the Mafia, secret societies, and corrupt politics. The mystery still casts a shadow, raising unsettling questions about just how far and how high the world of secret power can reach. So, what really happened to God's banker? That secret, it seems, may be forever bound to the shadows beneath Blackfriars Bridge, one of history's most chilling and tangled unsolved crimes.